Welcome, everybody. So, my name is Simone Milasas, and I am here with Mr. Christopher Hughes. I like the way you have your name like that. So, I invited Chris on here to talk about silver. What do I mean by silver? Literally silver. Like, this is one of the pieces of silver that I have in my house, and it's a beautiful silver goblet. We are both owners in the Antique Guild, which has two shops in Brisbane, and Antiques and Possibilities, which is a shop up in the coast, in the Sunshine Coast in Peregium Beach. I'm just going to put our handles down here because if you want to follow us on Instagram, we have some amazing stuff, not just silver, but this is the topic I wanted to talk about today because I found it very intriguing. Like I was always, silver, okay, great. But you're the one who has educated me so much on where silver is from, why we use it, why they used to use it, what, implications it has on the body, etc. So I know it's a really broad question. And where do you want to start from? Like, what's the first initial, where did silver be created? How did we start using this on our planet?
Good question. Well, silver is a pretty soft metal. So in terms of our first uses of it, it was a metal that was actually relatively easy to use. Not as easy as gold, because gold you could pull it out of the ground and start beating it and working with it straight away. Silver required us to actually melt it down and purify it and refine it before we could really start using it. But we've used it for many, many, many centuries. And it has always signified wealth. It's a precious metal. I mean, today, just like gold and grain and oil, it's got a price that fluctuates daily based on the activity of the markets. And that tells us what it's worth, which for something that you are then eating from or off of or drinking from, like the goblet in your hands, that's pretty interesting. This precious metal made of pure silver has a value quite beyond any other normal cup or goblet that you might drink from. So
And
that's
can I
one of the
just
more
say at this moment, it feels good. Like it feels good drinking from a silver goblet.
Yeah.
So, and I know that so you say it was like a symbol of wealth. So who used to start? Was it only nobility and royal families, or how did that all begin?
Not necessarily just nobilities and royal families. I'm not too sure on the exact history of it. I do behind me on my bookcase have a concise encyclopedia of silver if you wanted to dig into the real nitty gritty. But look at it this way. Once upon a time, all of our coins were made from the same precious metal, silver or gold or copper, but a lot of them were silver. So that money that you went to the market and bought things with was the same material that you were using to create something that you would eat from and drink from or wear as a piece of jewelry. So it not only did it signify wealth, it literally was money. Now, in recent times, our coins and our money, coins aren't worth that much anymore. People barely even carry cash these days for the most part. And our coins are not made of pure silver anymore because we determined it was too expensive to use real silver in these coins. And people were taking the silver coins and melting them to get the intrinsic value of the metal. But today it's different. Today people don't live this way that we used to. But for a really long period of history, we lived with silver as a signifier of wealth and a way of also diversifying how we had our money. Like it was one thing to have all your money in the bank or all your money in real estate or different investments, but this was another way of not only investing, but also displaying your wealth. You have to even think about the fact that restaurants are not that old of an invention. Going to restaurants is only really we've always had pubs, but it's really in the last 150 to 200 years that we've done dining out with friends and guests and business associates. Before that, having people to your home and having them around your dining table was a major way that we impressed each other and displayed our wealth. And whether you wanted to create a union with somebody through business or through marriage, having a
Wow.
lavishly set table was a way that you went, hey, we mean business and we have resources.
Wow, I love that. I actually really, really do love that. And it's interesting because ever since well, for quite some time now, meeting Gary Douglas, who's one of our partners in these business as well, and yourself, I've been educated so much on antiques and silver. And I've had a silver flatware I've got a few of them for so long, and I love eating with silver flatware off beautiful dishes, and then the silver flatware. And I mean, I've only got water in this at the moment, but yes, drinking wine from a goblet is amazing as well. And I noticed that it does create a sense of wealth because you just have it. So I love that it's followed through from what they used to do like that as well, creating the relationships with people. But
Mm.
why not enjoy your wealth, rather than having it all in a bank account? Why not enjoy your wealth and have that? I mean, I have silver tea sets, and I don't make tea like that. Like, I just don't at the moment. I could, but I have them displayed in a beautiful cabinet, and walking out and having the silver there and all the silver that I have, it just feels good to have it and know that, I don't know, it's worth something. It has some intrinsic value. And I think that's one of the most appealing things for me with silver too. It feels good. It has intrinsic value. It's like adding to my life in a different way.
Mm. Do you remember what was the first bit of silver that you bought?
Do you know what? I think it might have been shot glasses. These little shot glasses. Yeah. And I still have them. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, there was so little. I actually don't think they're shot glasses. I think what is that drink that they used to drink in the green drink that they'd go
Oh,
a bit.
absinthe.
What? Say it again. Yeah, I think it's
Absinthe.
little absinthe glasses. Yeah, that's the first thing I brought. And it was on a little
Uh,
silver tray, and there's like 6 of these, and they're all engraved, and it's just so, I don't know, it's so beautiful the way it is. What's the
but
first piece of silver you ever
you often
bought?
have like you and 5 friends over for a shot of absinthe?
I have not so far.
But you could.
I could. Limoncello, yes.
Absinthe,
Good for
not
your
so much.
digestive though. Yeah, no. What's the
My
first
first,
silver that you ever purchased?
it was, I still have them. It was two little things. One was a set of salt and pepper bowls. You know, like when you have the little bowls with little spoons for serving salt
I
and
have them.
pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Those were the first thing that I bought, and the second was a little bowl made by Tiffany and Co. in silver, which was a design based on uh, Paul Revere. You remember the horseman who let the Americans know that the British are coming and warned everyone of the invasion and helped save the war? He was a silversmith. Paul Revere was a silversmith. Not too many people know that, especially in this part of the world. And this bowl was based on his design. And when I remember buying those two things, the salt and pepper set and the bowl, and thinking, oh, these have real value. They're
Yeah.
not just something from a shop that I bought because of the look of it, and I'll use it until I break it and it'll be gone. It was like, wow, these are actually something that I will take care of and are worth keeping for the rest of my life if that's what I choose.
Yeah, I have some beautiful silver platters. And like I said, I have the mugs, I have the flatware, I have the salt and pepper, I have shot glasses, many different things like that. And I remember an old assistant of mine, Chris, she came into work one day and she went, I forgot to tell you, I borrowed a spoon from your place for my yogurt the other day. And she said, borrowing a spoon from you takes on a whole different meaning because of what the spoon is worth. But here's the thing. I've heard you quite often say, just start. Like, if you're going to build up your silver collection, just start. And it doesn't have to be as much as what you think it is. So what would you recommend to people if they would just like to start with their silver collection?
Just that. Like, if you're going to collect anything, and silver is where I started, and silver is something I still collect and am very keen on, have a look at what would be fun for you. Like, what's fun for me about silver is like your friend using it to eat her yogurt.
Mm.
You actually do get to use it. I love that I don't have stainless steel forks and knives anymore. Now I
Mm.
have all sterling. I have a sterling teapot that I make tea in quite frequently. I have trays and decanters. And like last night, I did some polishing of my silver because I'm having some friends for dinner tomorrow night. And I know that what I'm going to serve, I'd like to serve it in some of my silver. So I did some polishing with it. My collection has grown that way. And it's all things that I can actually functionally use to set a beautiful table and honor my friends that way. But for you out there, you've got to look at what actually is fun for you. Like some of you might not be into teaspoons and tea sets and trays and decanters. You might be more interested in silver jewelry, which is also really cool and beautiful. You might, yeah, want a goblet. Like the beautiful thing about those goblets, as as you said, they feel so good. The best thing is a cold glass of water or a chilled white wine. The cup keeps
Yes,
it extra cold, and it almost frosts on the outside in a way with the way it sweats, and it feels so decadent and luxurious. So
it
look at it for
does.
you. Are you a wine fan? Goblets? Great. That's a good place to start.
And one of the things I use absolutely every single day is a beautiful sterling silver jug. And because I have a water filter, actually have a water filter and a water filter. And so I fill up the silver jug with my filtered water and then take it over to my other water filter and fill that up with the silver jug. And one day, one of my assistants was filling it up, and she was filling it up with a watering can, like that we water plants with. And I said, "What are you doing?" And she was filling this up, and I went, "Oh no, let's fill it up with the silver jug." And she looked at me and went, "That's a lot nicer, isn't it?" I said, "Yeah, it's sort of like this honoring of the water and the taste of the water and everything." And I honestly do think that it changes the taste of the water. And I wanted
Well,
to
it
ask you about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does. I'm glad you asked because what silver actually does for water and for anything that's kept in it is it purifies it and destroys all of the bacteria that are present in it. See, silver as a precious metal and just on its own, it has these antimicrobial properties that are also incredibly boosting for your immune system. There was a time when we
colloidal
used to
silver.
talk about people, yeah, colloidal silver. And there was a time when we used to talk about people born with a silver spoon in their mouth. And that was not actually referring to their wealth, it was actually referring to their health. You gave a child a silver spoon because people knew that it was good for immunity, not necessarily because you wanted to wish them a prosperous life. You wanted to make sure they were healthy.
I love that. So that's a great gift. If you're looking for a gift for somebody that's just had a baby, a silver spoon. Love it.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
is there any, I love all of your different pieces of information that you come out with, Chris. Is there anything else that you would like to share with everybody about silver and maybe what they are not aware of?
I just want to stress that it really is an investment. And one of the things that I find really reassuring for me, especially when, say, the economy is a bit weird, I
Yeah.
love being able to look around my house and see items of silver and know what they're worth and go, okay, if I really was in trouble, I've got things that are worth money, that if really things were bad, I could melt them and be all right. Like I have in my one of my rooms here, I have a tray of decanters, and the tray is made of solid silver. And at the time I bought it, I think I paid $500 or $600 for it. But I realized that at the silver price alone, if I melted it, it's now worth $1,300.
And
Now
you
I've had
enjoy
it for
it.
a wee while. I've had it and I enjoy it, and it adds something beautiful to the room that it's in, and it gives me that sense of wealth. That's all.
I I actually, I have a lot of silver and gold and platinum as well. Like I have brought that from different bullion places, and I have a lot of silver. For me personally, and like you said, without creating, stress around the world, etc., having money sitting in a bank doesn't really work for me. I'd rather have it invested in something that has an intrinsic value that, as you said, you can enjoy. And at one point, when I didn't have carpet in my bedroom, I had a 5 kilo silver bar, and it was a doorstop. And it was so funny because people would walk in and go, "Is that silver?" And I was like, "Uh-huh." And people's worlds are just like, you have a sterling silver 5 kilo bar that's a doorstop on your door. And I'm like, yeah, why not? It was fun. And it made me smile. And I loved the whole fact of it that I've just got money lying there on the ground, like keeping my door open. It's like when you can have that sense of wealth, and when you have that, the silver around you, etc., you do start to have that sense of wealth, and that there is something else that can show up for you. And Chris, I've heard you say many times, if you want to start your silver collection, start with a spoon.
Yeah,
Like
you can get a
stir your sugar
spoon
in
for
your
free.
coffee with a silver spoon.
Yeah,
Say that again,
and that
sorry.
can be $40 or $50. That can be $40 or $50. It's not a
Or start with a silver
major
tray.
deal-breaking investment. Yeah,
Yeah.
if that's your budget, start where you start.
Look, I highly recommend the flatware though too. I cannot tell you how much I enjoy having my flatware. And you do have to polish silver. Please polish it. I have somebody that I pay to come and polish my silver. That's easy enough. They do it about once a month, and I live across the road from the ocean, so there's a lot of salt in the air. So I'm probably living in the worst place possible for that. But I so enjoy it, and it's so beautiful. And when it's polished and it comes up, and it's just absolutely stunning. So I'm going to invite all of you to check out our shops. The Antique Guild, we have 2 shops in Brisbane, and Antiques and Possibilities is in Prigium Beach. But if you follow us on Instagram, or even if you slide into our DMs and you ping us, we are so willing to send you some photos of all the silver that we have, and help you out to start your silver collection if that is something that you would like to choose.
How does it get any better than
Anything else?
that?
Exactly. How does it get any better than that? So
No,
have
I
fun
think we
today
covered.
wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining me, Mr. Chris. And thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.